Okay, so we're going to look at graphing inequalities. So when you graph inequalities, there's two different circles you have to know about. There's the closed circle, which is going to be a circle filled in. I know. Or there's an open circle. That's just the open circle with nothing filled in the middle. So if you have an open circle, that means you use the symbols either greater than or less than. If you have a closed circle, it means you use greater than or equal to or less than or equal to.
Yeah.
Okay? So when the line is underneath it, that's when you fill it in. Okay, when there's no line, it's an open circle. Questions so far?
No.
So if it has a greater than or equal to symbol, then you're going to fill in your circle. So let's look at this bottom part. We're going to skip that right inequalities part. We're going to go down to the example inequalities. So let's say I want you to graph x is less than 4. Yep, write it on there. X is less than 4. Okay. Then you're going to flip that flap up, and they're already giving you a number line. So in the middle, I'm going to put a 0, and I'm going to count up and fill in all my spots. Doesn't matter exactly where you put 0. Don't have to be exact as mine.
Can we put negative?
And then we're going to put the negatives to the left of the 0. So, like I said, if yours doesn't match up exactly to mine, that's fine. But try and get as close as possible as you can.
I don't have enough room for it and stuff.
That's fine, I told you. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine, Jordan. Alright, so the problem we're trying to graph is x is less than 4. So is it going to be an open or a closed circle?
Open.
Open, because if we look, less than is right here, so it's an open circle. So above the number 4, I'm going to do an open circle. Now, look at which way my sign is pointing. It's pointing this way, right? If I look at that, so that's the way my arrow is going to point. So I'm going to draw an arrow and point it that way. Because we're looking for the numbers that are less than 4. Do you agree that all these numbers are less than 4? Yes. Okay. So let's try more then. Let's say x is greater than -1. So x is greater than -1. Fill out your number line. Don't graph it yet, but just fill in your numbers on your number line, just like the one above. So x is greater than -1. So is it going to be an open or a closed circle? Open circle at -1. Which direction am I going to draw my arrow?
Right.
To the right. Okay. So whatever number it tells you, you'll do an open or a closed circle at that. And then you have to figure out which way to draw your arrow. Not equal to, cross that one out. We're not doing that one. You can cross out the front and on the number line. We're not doing that one. Less than or equal to. Let's do x is less than or equal to 2. So x is less than or equal to 2. Go ahead and fill out your number line just like above. Going to be an open or a closed circle?
Close.
Closed. At what number?
2.
At 2.
But then wouldn't it go either way because the line?
Okay, but it says less than or equal to 2. So what numbers are less than 2?
Negative.
So you got to go to the left. All that line tells me is that it could be equal to that number. That's why we fill in that circle. Because it's saying it could be equal to 2. So when it's a filled in circle, I know it can be equal to. When it's not filled in, I know it cannot equal that number. Okay, more than or equal to, let's do x is greater than or equal to, let's do negative 3. X is greater than or equal to negative 3. So fill out your number line.
I wish I had more spaces for number lines so that way the numbers won't, like, negative, wouldn't overlap each other. It'd be easier.
Hey, open or a closed circle?
Close.
Closed at what number?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Make sure it's at negative 3, not 3. There's a difference between 3 and negative 3.
Yep.
So negative 3, in which direction is it going?
Right.
To the right. Alright, and the last one equal to, you can cross that one out. We're not worrying about that.
Last one. Wait, did we cross out the inside?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Hey, so looking at these 4 inequalities, what do you notice about all 4 of them? What comes first? X. Is it going to matter what letter I use?
No.
No. But I always want my letter to be first. Okay? Because that way when you're graphing it, you can always follow which way the arrow is pointing. If your letter's not first, then you can't follow the way that your arrow is pointing. Okay? So you always have your letter, your symbol, and then your number. Now let's go back up to right inequalities at the top. So now they're giving us what the graph looks like, but we need to come up with the inequality. Okay? So to make it simple, I'm going to use the same letter every time. If you want to use a different letter, just do not use O or T. Those are the 2 you cannot use.
Why is that?
Because T can look like a plus sign, O can look like a 0. Okay, you can use any other letters you choose though. Okay? So, first thing I'm going to start with, I'm going to flip this up so I can write my inequality underneath. I'm going to start with my letter, so I'm going to pick X. Okay? Now, looking back at my graph, I got to figure out what number am I at. So the number is at 6, so I'm going to leave a space, and then I'm going to put the number 6.
Mine is at negative 7.
Are you...
Mine's right here.
Not yet. So, now I gotta figure out, is it gonna be less than or greater than? Greater than, because look at which way the arrow is pointing. So that means it's going to be greater than. The numbers that are going are x is greater than 6. Okay? Let's try the next one. So we're going to start with x. What's our number going to be? 2. Actually, cross this one out. That one's confusing. That one has 2 within it.
Cross this one out.
Cross the second one out. Because it said a 2, but then if you notice the arrows go both ways, we're not going to talk about those.
Oh. Oh.
Because that's more of an algebra.
They're parallel. Parallel. 7.
Okay, so let's look at the third one. So we're going to still use our x.
I'm using my J. J's off.
Now what number is it at?
1.
1. And what symbol do I need? Okay, do I need less than or equal to or less than?
Less than.
Careful.
Equal to.
Why can it be equal to it?
Less than or equal to.
Why is it less than or equal to?
Because it's filled in.
It's a filled in circle. So my symbol has to have that line underneath it because it's a filled in circle.
Yes. Filled in.
So the circle is filled in, so I have to have the line underneath when I do my symbol.
I have to do J.
Okay, on the last one, put your letter down
F and -4.
at -4. And what symbol do I need?
Greater than, equal to.
Greater than or equal to. Okay, so it should have the line underneath it.
Can I see the second last one? Okay, good. I thought I had it wrong.
Once you have that done, go back to page 3 and fill out your table of contents. Do you need it, Miss Larson? So today is 1-9. And we're doing graphing inequalities. And we were on page 32.